everyone, this is Dragon Veos. I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. And after such a long wait, we finally have Hazbin Hotel Season 2, and the first two episodes come out. For this review, I'm going to focus on Episode 1, A New Pentious. This one is going to be a very interesting and it has a good start. But without further ado, let's begin with the overall review. So the story starts a month after the aftermath of the battle between heaven and hell, and of course, Charlie's still not taking it well. Everyone is trying to figure out what's going to happen at the hotel. The good news is more guests are coming in. Bad news is they're doing it because they want to take on some angels. Dear Lord. Anyways, Charlie tries to pull herself together after everyone is settled in, and Maggie finds her with Frank, but only remaining Egg Boy out of the deal. And of course, we definitely learned that along the way, Maggie is trying to help set up the desk as well as changing her name. She's also trying to manage the hotel's maintenance without Alistair's help, of course. Then there's Angel finally going into therapy. Thank God! The poor man needs it after everything he's been through, and at least he's finally opening up. He really needs to open up. Putting that aside, when Charlie finally goes and meets up with the reporter, she's bombarded upon reasonable question. Bless her for trying to answer. It's not her fault. No one is frickin' listening to her. And of course, we finally get introduced to Baxter, the only willing participant into the Hazbin Hotel. And we are immediately cut into the song of Has Been Guaranteed, a very catchy and upbeat song which also connects us to the Vees. Speaking of which, Vox is not exactly happy that there's a positive outcome with everything going on, so he tries to hold up a meeting with Velvet and Valentino. And of course, he has a talk with Katie Killjoy. Oh, grand. And to make matters worse,
Oh, nothing much. You gotta tell me what the fuck this is? Oh,
oh, the anvil of irony. Considering of how she has no opinions about buys, she actually has the nerve to actually snuggle up to Vox. Man, that woman has no sense of dignity, does she? Putting my saltiness for her aside, Vox decides to explain a little bit of his backstory during a time where he was still another human in the world. Basically, a leader of a movement, as he likes to put it. Man, Valentino really doesn't beat the bush on this one, does he? Of course, Vox also reprimands the rest of his crew about of how they were acting. Velvet with what had happened in Scrambled Eggs, and of course for Valentino with what happened in the whole slapping thing. As a result, he decides to explain of how he wants himself and the crew to actually be gods, and they sing the song of When We Get Up There, which definitely has a little bit of a broad tapping musical. So, going back to poor Charlie, she finds herself being stressed out by the reporter's questions. Thankfully, Lucifer, her dad, finally dragged her back to their place, or technically into his bedroom, where she's able to cool down and talk. And before going to face the reporter again, she tries one more time to actually make a phone call to her mom. Okay, I hope the writers have made Lilith have a good reason for not contacting Charlie for a very long time, because we owe answers, and so does she. So when the gang finally gets settled in, Charlie decides to make her announcement, and she tries her best speech she could possibly muster. And honestly, I do feel bad for her because she's just trying to be reasonable, but nobody is bothering to listen. Thankfully, though, after everyone cleared out with Baxter hanging on, it does give her a little small clinging of hope. Unfortunately, the news segment with the Vees has finally gotten Charlie ticked off, and I don't blame her at this point. No one listens in this show, do they? While Charlie's trying to cool down with the help of Aggie, Emily pops in and tells her the good news, leaving us with this. So, my take on this episode is that it's really good and engaging. It helps you rehash a bit of what happened in the previous season, as well as it helps you express of how much your characters have changed since then and what can be improved upon. It also highlights the fact that now the V's have their threat level increased. And plus, we're going to feature a lot of new frustrations with this. I mean, right now the sinners have been frustrating me, considering the fact that they're now buying into this concept that Charlie is no good, even though the majority of them just heard what she had to say earlier. And on top of that, they didn't even listen to what she had to say, even though she was the one who fought back against the angels. The least they could do is at least give 10 minutes of her time. So, putting that little beef aside, overall, this was a good episode where I feel like it gave enough pacing to ingest what is going on and makes us hope for more to come. I also love that there's a little introduction to Baxter and that he gives some hope to the hotel as of yet. In terms of MVP for the characters, I'd say we'll go straight to the V's. Not only for a strong introduction, but they also really, once again, show of why they're the villains of the story. Especially Vox in particular. He has very daunting ambitions, and their dynamic is pretty interesting. And as well as second place for MVP, I would say would go to Lucifer, Vaggie, and Charlie. Charlie is still trying her best to run the hotel despite of everything that's happening, even though right now she's not in a really good place at the moment after witnessing her friend died, as well as losing her original hotel. But I do admire the fact that the writers at least give some consistency for her character and what sort of arc she has to go through. As for Lucifer, I do like the fact that he shows of how much of a good dad he is, being understanding to Charlie's problem, as well as actually helping get her away from that crazy news mob for maybe a couple of minutes, just so Charlie has a sense to reset herself. And of course, there's also Vaggie, the supporting girlfriend who tries everything in her power to comfort Charlie and help her get through the nightmare that she's been struggling with since the tail end of season 1. And it is pretty interesting that she will want to change her name, though I'm pretty fine with Vaggie at that point. Though it is understandable why she wanted to change the name. Hazbin Guarantee was a great start to the series. It definitely gave an Hazbin Guarantee was a great start to the series. It definitely gave an idea of what is going on if you close your eyes and imagine the scene of what's going on at the hotel in general. It also highlights a lot of emotions that are riding into this. We could feel Charlie's anxiety about the new changes of the hotel and the aftermath of the battle. We also get to see the V's cranking up their shenanigans, and oh my word, does this insanity go into place. I love of how they set up a contrasting mood between the two and their goals in general, as many of you had noticed. You could tell of who has what agenda, Charlie wanting to do what's best for everyone, and the V's doing what's best for them. And it creates a definitely concerning aspect, and Hark! Does thy ears hear betrayal?
Bitch, trust me! Just me! Trust us! No, I meant to say us.
Yeah, okay.
When we get up there, definitely gives off a Broadway villain vibe. If some of you are musical experts more than I am, it definitely comes off a little corny at the beginning, where it kind of highlights Vox's sense of hamminess. I mean, yes, he's a villain, and he's like having a god complex, but let's face it, he just is a big old ham by the end of the day. And slowly and surely, it begins to become a little bit more menacing when it gives us another reason why we should be concerned for Charlie and the crew when the Vees are stepping up their games. And of course, it is kind of nice that Velvet and Valentino have a shot of actually singing a piece of the song, so it doesn't feel like they're actually being pushed to the side in general, and we get to hear the vocal talents of Joel Perez and Lily Cooper in general. And I have to admit, Velvet does look stunning in that winged dress, even if the concept of her making a dress out of angel wings still leaves us a little bit disturbed on more ways than one. So these are just my thoughts, and I'd like to hear yours. What do you think of this episode, and what do you think might happen next? Do a like and subscribe. This is Dragon Veos signing off. Oh, and be aware for any more reviews, because I'll try to keep doing these videos.